Okay, YouTube. I needed to brag on my baby for a minute. Um, my son Brandon is doing excellently right now in school, and he's doing a great job at church with his drum practice. And he's also an avid and talented basketball player who is currently playing for two teams at the same time because his first team, the Park and Rec or PAL team. I can't remember if it's PAL or Park and Rec, but anyway, his first team has won. They were almost undefeated. They lost one game through the season and they're gone. They have won the county and now they're moving on to the state. So he's been playing with them, but at the same time got recently picked up with an AAU team that is currently being coached by Vincent King, former NBA player. And he is just doing a great job. He was able to play with them after having not practiced with them. And this is a very competitive and organized team that has plays and formations that they utilize. And he had to jump into the game without ever having to have practice with them. And the coach called me and just said that he told Brandon to play instinctively and that he jumped in there and he really did his thing. He was excellent with his foul shots and awesome as a team player. He doesn't hog the ball, but he takes control of the ball and he makes great shots and he's just awesome and I love him so much. I'm so proud of him. But not only that, some of the concerns with regards to playing AAU basketball is just the commitment that is associated with it. And it was just becoming apparent to me that it was going to be a tremendous commitment, not just for me as a parent taking him from place to place to place, but also not just a financial commitment, but also the commitment with Brandon finding balance because they are so involved and competitive, and because the team that he's associated with is so good, they often end up playing a lot because once they win a tournament they have to play, the finals and so on and so forth. As such, I began to have reservations and I told him basically, we might not be able to do this. You have school, you have church, and AAU is all consuming. I mean, it really just seems to be all consuming. And I've been looking at just after talking to the coach and all of the details that was associated with it. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know how on earth he's going to be able to maintain this. Plus the fact that it's currently even more cumbersome because he's playing both teams. Now he has to practice for both teams. He has to play the games of both teams. So it's like round and around and around and around she goes. And it's crazy. But we sat down and we began to identify the things that he needs to maintain a commitment to in order to maintain the ability to the privilege to play AAU basketball. He also has to maintain his other commitments to a certain and established degree. So we drew up a commitment between himself, Brandon, and us, his parents, after we sat down and talked to him. But then we realized that there are so many other people involved in his success and decided to include commitments for each of them. His educators being his principal and vice principal, his parents, myself and my husband, his coach, and his ministerial leadership being our pastor and the minister of music, Brother Aaron, who is the one that directs him in his drums. I have a real concern that at the age of 12 he may be gravitating away from the things of God and more towards basketball in its entirety. And there's not a problem with that. There's not a bad thing. I'm very happy that he's gifted and talented, but I also want to keep him grounded and exercise and continuing to exercise his gifts as a drummer as well. So he has a responsibility and a commitment to be well rounded in that area. So all of those people are included in the commitment to excellence contract, and we're going to be sitting down together to review it with Brandon today, and then he will have the responsibility of discussing it with each of the other participants to make sure that everybody is committed to his success and his excellence, because my son is destined for greatness, and I won't have anything less than greatness surrounding him, people who are also committed to his destiny. That being said, the boy already has the big head, and I'm telling you, we made a visit to the beauty supply yesterday. I was going to meet with my business partner and best friend, and he came along, and it was so funny because we were standing in line, and what happened? Oh, a lady said, "Excuse me, you play basketball?" And I'm thinking to her, okay, he plays 12-year-old basketball. He ain't on TV nowhere. What you talking about? But I didn't say it out loud. And he said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "Well, did you have a game this weekend?" He said, "I played several games this weekend." And he began to tell her the locations of the games. She says, "Oh no, I remember such and such a game of so and so." I was not able to join him this weekend at his games because they were actually on Sunday during church, so I didn't go. But she said, "Oh yes, I saw you. You were this and you were that and you were fabulous." And I'm sitting there like, "Okay, lady, he's 12 and his head is big enough." But anyway, I was still very proud. He was very humble. And he said, "Oh, thank you so much." And he received it and took it in stride. I was so proud of my baby, and I will continue to be proud of him. He is making strong A's and B's. He is on honor science right now. He is excelling in science. He loves math. And as we continue to work together on behavior and on reading, then we will be, just, there's nothing that could stop him. But I have to go. I don't think that there's anything that can stop him now, but I have to make sure that he stays on track, because education comes first. It comes before anything. It comes before drums. It comes before basketball. God first, education second, and everything else falls into line. So we're going to keep him lifted up, continue to pray him up. All of you continue to just rev all of the grandparents and and aunts and uncles and everybody who's watching this. Just know that he's destined for greatness. Love you. Bye.